Trying some strats.
Yeah, these are some strats I learned. Just a couple techs. It's like Smash. There's always techs. There's always like complex analog movement.
I wonder, does anyone speedrun this?
Look, I'm immune to enemies now. Normally he would knock me back and I'd lose like half a second. Has pretty good fog implementation. That I see. Now I gotta collect more items and unlock mini games. That's how this game works. Then play those mini games once, and then receive.
How many? What items do we have? Like, can we go to the menu? No, select maybe.
Yeah, select.
10 cheese.
Onions.
We need to collect dwarfs.
Wait, does it show you where these things are? No. Oh, I have 14 to 16 knights.
It's funny how we're grouping in cheese and onions with knights.
Oh, I just noticed something.
What?
Oh, this is the same music as they have in the title screen.
Oof.
Getting lazy. Can't make your own title screen music.
It loops really bad too.
It's got terrible loop. It's like it feels like it's about to get started and then it stops.
I don't like when people steal from themselves. Like when they're making I used to hate it when I bought a PS1 game and I looked inside and the manual art was the same as the cover art again.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't two different arts, it was the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of kind of lame things you can do, like making, like, it's cool when the final boss music is just or like the credits music is just the title screen, or I mean a remix of it. But when it's just that, it's pretty lame.
My favorite thing ever was the last boss in Dragon's Dogma. It plays the title screen music, but it's like a remix.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool when that happened. I fell asleep with that on one time. That obnoxious anime intro that Dragon's Dogma has.
Yeah.
Going all night one time. I fell asleep with that on one time. I fell asleep playing Final Fantasy IX, and I fell asleep playing Shadow of the Colossus. As far as I know, there's only 3 times I fell asleep playing a game.
I like when there's a motif too, like at the end of Devil May Cry 5, where there's a little bit of bang 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 in the final boss.
Yeah, it's a remix of Pull My Devil Trigger.
Yeah, it's
right
just,
at the end.
It's so heavily modified.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell at first. Oh, I was totally missing this place, it seems.
How do people play that shit on Dante Must Die?
Yeah, it's
I'm trying
it's hard to breach into that. One of the first things I heard is that the gap is a lot greater between what was it? What's the third difficulty?
I don't remember. Human or Devil. There's Human, Devil Hunter,
Son of Sparta.
Son of Sparta. Yeah,
that's it.
And then I beat on Son of Sparta, and now I'm trying to play Dante Must Die, and I'm just drinking gold orbs like it's water, trying to survive fights.
Like my playthrough's on a hiatus right now because after I beat it on Son of Sparta, and like I'm thinking of just doing Bloody Palace first.
Yeah.
Or at least attempting it.
Bloody Palace is so long; it's hours long.
Yeah, it is.
It goes forever.
I mean, just attempt it until you're good again, and then go back to Dante Must Die. Flat 10 nights. and you get the splatted knights turned into a blanket.
Okay.
Get a blanket Jackson. Position the crosshair on the knights and press the throw button to splat them. So this is
Why do games bother saying things like press the throw button, press the action button?
yeah.
Kids don't like that. They don't understand. What the hell is what's the action button? Press the confirm button. It's just because they're lazy and they don't want to change out the text for each console it's on. They don't want to have
What's the problem?
like,
Fuck off, you.
if this came out on another console,
Come on, hit.
they didn't want to bother changing it to A or something like that. So they just said action button.
Hit.
Throw button, I mean.
Am I hitting them? It doesn't look like it.
How many? Okay, there's Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and then there's Shrek 4, right? Is there Shrek 5?
There's a Shrek 5 coming by Illumination.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, what's that called?
Shrek 5, maybe? I don't know. Might just be Shrek 5. Even though it's not made by the same people. Did I lose? It really didn't look like I was hitting those guys.
Shrek 5, the 5 quel.
Yeah, that'd be it. But, yeah, there was some insane, auto lock on there. Like, once you locked on to one of those knights, you can't move away. Which is good for Babus. I'd say this is a decent Babu game.
I wish this was a Spider-Man Elsa game.
It could be. You could just swap out some assets and that's what you get.
You can almost get one on the Switch now. There's that kart racing game on the Switch now that stars one of those child YouTubers.
Wait, oh yeah,
Remember
right,
that? Yeah.
right.
That's the closest we're gonna get to Spider-Man Elsa sinister YouTube semi-pedophile video games.
Mm-hmm. Just like child pedophiles. Like unexplored territory. Very profound.
Wow. I hope in that kart racing game you get to put a needle in pregnant Spider-Man's stomach and the baby pops away. And then he's gone. Poop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's about abortion.
Oh my god, Pop. Just disappears. It's for little kids to look at. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. They're like those thumbnails that have wounds on them that have been color enhanced so that they look more disgusting than they used to be. Yeah. Just take a bruise and make it look like bright pink somehow.
I wonder, did YouTube think that this would happen if they let the algorithm, when they started letting the algorithm autoplay the next video, that was the end of the world. When they started doing that. I wonder, did they think people would start gaming that and creating videos that will often play after another video so you can show kids Elsa getting her leg cut off?
It's pretty insane, yeah.
I know people personally who are on YouTube a lot, and I find them asleep sometimes, and with YouTube going, and they wake up and they fall asleep watching a video, and then it keeps auto playing, and it gets out of control over time. It gets like, it's a chaos theory, like it gradually goes wildly in different directions over time as it gets more and more differentiated from the original video. And they wake up, and it's something about these. They said before, they went to sleep watching a video about boats, and they wake up, and it's a video about rabbits hours and hours later. And they complain to me that their algorithm's all fucked up now.
Yeah.
Like, YouTube is recommending them all kinds of strange things.
Yeah,
It's just because they keep falling asleep, and the algorithm goes crazy.
That's gonna happen.
You fall asleep on YouTube, the algorithm loses its mind.
You gotta be careful.
YouTube thinks you spent hours watching videos about like bricklaying, and you wake up and you're wondering why YouTube thinks you're a bricklayer.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Bricklaying, yeah. Yeah, thankfully, I never like the video that comes up in the autoplay. Like, even when I'm watching, like, a series of videos, the next one in the series almost never shows up in that damn list. It's like, why?
I know.
Why won't it just do the next one when it's just the same name? The same title, but
number
with
2.
one more number.
It feels like YouTube should be able to intelligently figure that out, but it can't.
I think it could, but it doesn't bother.
Yeah, it intentionally doesn't want to.
Yeah.
It wants to give you garbage. Well, it would be to YouTube's benefit if they could slowly mold people's algorithms into a nice, soft, shallow, creamy center, which is just like videos about, like, I don't know.
Creamy centers.
Yeah, videos about creamy centers. Just videos about cooking. Nice, tame content. If they could just mold people's brains into only wanting cooking,
yeah,
then they could never have a problem again.
You can kind of do that. There's a lot of really chill and entertaining cooking shows.
I know. I watch them a lot.
That 17th century one in particular. Or 18th century, usually.
The particularly impoverished one.
Yeah, yeah, like
it definitely calls to mind tastes that exist.
Where you have this middle-aged man from in 2019 reviewing Hardtack.
Yeah.
Giving it a nice objective review.
Yeah,
like
James Townsend.
Yeah.
I like the one he did on cornmeal, and he's talking about how back in the day they used to just have bags of this cornmeal, and they would stop and just mix it with water and eat it. And that was your food, and he was trying to eat it, and he said, if you like the taste of burnt popcorn, you might like this. And he said, it definitely calls to mind tastes. He said it calls to mind tastes that exist or something like that.
Yeah,
he said it's the only way you could say it was good.
Uh-huh.
It calls to mind. It's a salty taste, even though I didn't add salt.
A very interesting sort of
earthen.
Texture?
It's earthen. The British soldiers used to get a pound of meat and a pound of bread and yada yada yada. And if they didn't have bread to give them, they would just give them flour. You get a pound of flour, and you were expected to figure out how to turn that into bread on your own. You have to find water and try to turn it into something.
Mm-hmm.
Mix it with water and then put it directly on the fire coals and eat that.
Oh yeah.
You can make a little fire cake like that. Fire coal cake.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they got a pound of meat, they didn't specify what cut of the meat it was. So a lot of times they said they would get meat that was just cow's feet, basically. Like just the meat was just a pound of bone.
Oh god.
Like they didn't specify what it was you were getting.
Oh god, yeah.
So you just got random bits, and it was
gross.
Terrible.
Man, I just don't want to imagine what cow's feet taste like when you just don't season.
Well, you've been doing shit all day, and your dinner is a salted cow's foot that's been salted for 10 years, and you have to boil it for 3 hours to get all the salt out of it, and it's purple from all the salting, and your food is a bag of flour to go with it that you need to find like dirty water somewhere to mix with, and then put it onto the coals of the fire to try to make bread out of it and eat that. Sounds like a good time.
Oh, here's something missing. Wait, I jumped down there. Can I get back up? Let's see.
You know, in well-designed games... Oh, was that a spring?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, this is a jump thing.
Oh, cool.
Wait, what the hell? Hold on. Ah! God, it doesn't last long.
In well-designed games like Metroid and stuff like that, I always like going into a room where you know you can't get out. Because now you're getting excited for the item you're going to get.
Yeah. That's
that
right.
cool?
Yeah.
I like that.
But in these games, you don't always
No,
know.
in those games, you're like, ooh.
You don't know if you got like 2 hours of walking ahead of you. I'm glad I was able to easily find an area that I haven't been to, because that was a problem last time.
The NPC characters, like the only people that are like alive in Metroid Prime 2, was one of them, one living one, the Luminoth. You know those guys?
Uh-huh.
They're in Metroid Prime 2.
Okay.
I just found out, like just now, that there's an animal called a Luna moth.
Oh.
That we had one here today. It's, you know, those big moths that have those ears that look like leaves.
Yeah.
Those cute ones, and they have fur,
Mhm.
like the actual furry big moth. That's called a Luna moth. And we had one here, and I finally realized. I went back and looked at the Luminoth from Metroid Prime 2, and they look like Luna moths.
Okay.
So what they did, the team just switched the N and the M.
Yeah.
And to arrive at the
Luminoth.
cool sounding Luminoth instead of Lunamoth. And that was pretty cool. And I realized what they did there now. I never knew there was such a thing as a Lunamoth. But shout out to the last living Luminoth in Metroid Prime 2, Umos, my nigga. Shout out. I also just realized recently that the quest you're on in Metroid Prime 2 is the quest for light, and the Luminoth like light because they're moths. Just realize that now.
Oh.
I never put that together in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Over 10 years now, going almost 15 since Metroid Prime 2. That's what that was about. Like, you're trying to get back the light from the dark world to bring it back to the whatever, and like get rid of the dark world on Aether and make it Aether the light world again.
Sounds like Kingdom Hearts.
Well, not well. They got hit by an asteroid and it divided Aether into dark world and light world.
This is the reward item place.
So the moths like the light world because they're moths and they attract to the light. Mm-hmm. And the bad guys are the Ing. And I don't know if that means anything though.
Oh.
Ing, I-N-G, which is a cool name for bad guys. The Ing. Oh, here we go.
I think this is the place I already did.
I like Metroid Prime 2. I like science.
Okay. Good to know.
I like science. This is the power of math, people.
This is the power of math.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's from that Red Letter Media review of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. But they missed the funniest part. Mm-hmm. The worst thing that happens in that season is that at the beginning of the season, at some point, they find a dark matter asteroid that like they say like one like handful of this stuff weighs tons. Okay.
Yeah.
So they have to they take it into the bay, the shuttle bay, with tractor beams, and they encase it in an anti-gravity shell. Which, okay, you can do that in Star Trek because they have tractor beams and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And they suck a little piece of it out with a tractor beam and put a smaller piece into an anti-gravity box. And they hold it like that. And
oh yeah.
So they got this little piece, and they clearly establish that this weighs thousands of tons. This little piece of it. And then later on, like 10 episodes later, somebody just picks it up by hand.
Ooh. That hurts.
So it doesn't really make sense in its own continuity either.
That's kind of... Yeah, that's not smart. That's
no, they're just... Oh, God. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, well...
Maybe it was a bad dream.
No, it was real. And on top of that, at the end of Season 1, like, this is how you know they've never actually seen Star Trek. Because one of the characters is holding the phaser backwards.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to shoot it with the blunt end with nothing on it. Mm-hmm. Clearly, you've never actually seen it. If you don't know to put the pointy end forward. What? It's crazy. How do you make
Weird.
that mistake? I was thinking about it and thinking about it. How do you do that unless you've never actually seen the show?
Yeah.
How do you let that get by? I was thinking about it.
But like we were, like you were saying already, it's not even the worst thing to happen.
I know. Holding the gun backwards. It's like in Mass Effect Andromeda. Remember that's that cutscene where the character's holding the gun backwards.
Oh yeah.
It slipped by. It slipped by.
That's just a glitch, though.
Yeah, that's something I can
you
maybe
explain that in a video game.
You can't explain somebody in a live action show holding the gun backwards, especially when it's the same gun that's been around since 1966.
Yeah.
And you should have seen it by now. How you hold it.
You should watch, like, when you're tasked with making the whole new Star Trek, everyone should watch the thing.
I don't think
just
they did.
The whole thing from start to
I
finish.
really don't think they did.
It's required reading, as it were.
It doesn't seem to me like they did. I don't know. And you technically shouldn't have to make a good show, as long as if the show is good and the story, the plots are good, and it makes sense inside its own continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay if it breaks canon and does a bunch of dumb shit, but the show's not good anyway.
Yeah.
So those things become more glaring.
Yeah, it's no longer nitpicking at that point.
It's
more
stupid.
it's more like an explanation of why you don't like it.
Like, it's like, yeah. And they knew there was a problem because at the end of season 2, all the characters have to promise not to talk about everything that happened.
Oh yeah.
They get debriefed. And they have to swear secrecy, not to talk about anything that happened for the last 2 seasons.
Oh, new reward item.
So it's like if there's a prequel to Coronation Street where one character has a flying car.
Yeah. They should have made
and at the end of that prequel series to Coronation Street, everyone has to get in front of a CIA agent and swear secrecy not to talk about the flying car. Do you get it? Like, why that's stupid?
Yeah.
Like, in order to fix the mistakes you made, you had to make all the characters swear not to talk about what happened. Because it wouldn't make sense.
They really... They decided to make a prequel, but they really didn't want to.
They didn't want to, and then...
Because it doesn't look like one.
No, they realized it doesn't make sense, so then they had to get all the characters debriefed at the end by secret agents to say to not talk about what happened.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can make sense in the future. After this is if no one talked about it, which doesn't make any sense because there's thousands of people involved in the show in the background. Are you gonna get everyone to not mention anything?
What the hell was that? Damn it!
That looked awful.
Wait, I'm gonna do that again. They should have made it less complex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just fall down there. They should have made it less complex and just like established in the first episode that okay, there's a reward item at the end of this bridge. Whoever gets it gets the reward item, and then they unlock the next minigame.
Yeah.
And that would have enthralled everyone. Like I think everyone would be behind that. Just a basic. Everyone likes reward items, right?
Yeah.